Hello everyone, it's Al Nigrin, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey International Film Festival, here with you today to talk about our 2017 New Jersey International Film Festival, which will be taking place at Rutgers University from June 3rd to June 11th on our beautiful campus in Voorhees Hall, room 105, which is located at 71 Hamilton Street in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Today we have a very special guest, one of the filmmakers who's going to be presenting her film on June 11th at 7 o'clock. It's called Levinsky Park, and it was shot in Israel.
Yes.
Welcome, Beth. Tell us a little bit about the film and how you got involved in making it.
Well, I was in Israel and I was looking at the refugee health clinic through a program at the Tel Aviv University Crisis and Trauma Center. And while there, I was meeting a lot of refugees who were Muslim from Sudan and Christian from Eritrea. And I talked to some of them and learned some of their stories, and a whole new world opened up to me, and I discovered their plight coming to Israel and settling in South Tel Aviv, first at Levinsky Park.
Yeah, and they can live there, but they can't work, which I thought was a key line in the film, because these people are given refugee status, but they can't survive there.
Well,
I mean,
actually, they're not given refugee status. They're seeking refugee status.
Right.
So they come really undocumented, illegal, smuggled by Bedouins across the Sinai Peninsula into Israel. Yeah. And after enduring traumatic experiences, settle in a detention center. And
for years,
well,
in some instances, right?
For years, or for, in the beginning, they were let in 2006, about 60,000.
Wow.
And they were given a bus ticket to Tel Aviv, until finally there were so many that accumulated in this park that the government said, well, hold on. And they built a high-powered wall and detention center.
Right. So it sounds familiar.
It does.
And so timely that your documentary in many ways mirrors what's taking place in the United States these days.
Yeah, and around the world.
Yeah.
Because, I was able to capture the stories of people who lived in the community upon whom these refugees descended.
Right, and their reaction to them.
Exactly.
And what were some of the reactions that you documented?
Well, some were very adamantly fearful of being taken over by refugees, because you have to understand that they burden the community. You have an influx of maybe in 1 year a doubling of the population in South Tel Aviv, but none of the facilities were affected, so that you had the same burden on the garbage collection, on the education system, on the health system, all the social services.
Yeah. So what has been the response to your film so far? I mean, I know you've shown it in San Jose at the CineQuest Festival, and do people get it, or do they see parallels to what's going on
I think
here?
in the beginning, before seeing the film, people are sort of they're very unsure as to what it's about, because they immediately assume it's about Jewish refugees who are given citizenship to Israel, like the Ethiopians, being that they're from Africa as well. But they're not. Then they see the film and they realize that it has a global context. It speaks to refugees from all over the world who are seeking asylum, who, if they were to go back, would experience a credible fear of danger of their lives. So in CineQuest, that was brought out. We got a great review at the Huffington Post. And since the new administration, there's been a lot of interest in exposing the issues of the refugee crisis.
Is the response of the Israeli government similar to the response of the American government, the current American government?
The current, yes. And we have a right-wing Israeli government as well. And the difference being, because it's been in the right-wing government in Israel has been in place for a while. they would promote legislation that would clamp down on the refugees. However, then you would get lawyers who would represent the refugees and go to the courts, and then you would get a court ruling that would favor refugee status.
Right.
So there was a lot of constant back and forth, which is it speaks to the democratic process.
Right. But I remember one fellow who came and was speaking about how we want to get all of these refugees out of here, and then I flashed back to the movie Exodus, which Otto Preminger had made, where the Jews were trying to find a home in Israel, and they were forced to, basically had to turn around, and so many Jews were not allowed into Israel. And I found it ironic that here we are full circle, where Jews are not letting other people come in, and in fact they had the same hang-up 50, 60 years earlier.
It is ironic, and it does speak to a more personal issue of the Jews being refugees.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what drove me to find an identity to this whole situation.
Folks, you have to come and see Levinsky Park, which is going to be the festival closer on June 11th at 7 p.m. in Voorhees Hall, room 105, which is located on the College Avenue campus of Rutgers University, 71 Hamilton Street, New Brunswick, New Jersey. General admission is $12. You can buy tickets in advance, they're $14. You go to our website to get more information, which is www.njfilmfest.com. And Beth is going to be there to take questions and answers. The producer's going to be there too, editor. So there'll be lots of fun. Free food courtesy of Jimmy John's as well. So if you're hungry, you can munch and watch at the same time. And so thanks so much for coming, Beth. And we look forward to seeing you at the screening.
Thank you.
Refugees from the Middle East and Africa are searching for a safer heaven.
And they keep on coming. There have been a few clashes between those who are here and the police.
Refugees will risk everything in hopes of finding peace and the possibility of a better life.
Thousands of African refugees yearning for new life in Israel.